I'm feeling a little anxious.
Everything about this assault and the behavior of the suspect is despicable.
Worried, concerned, sad, and angry.
So I'm more fearful for people that I love, people who look like me.
I'm also frustrated that people think this way. This is 2020.
And that's when the man eventually took out a chisel out of his bag and smashed through the window. Those are just some of the most violent acts of hatred targeting people who appear to have yellow skin. The East Asian community is on edge. The Chinese community, my community, is facing growing hostility. Subtle microaggressions, you can call them, are taking place daily. There are small words, actions, sometimes even just a look that stings of discrimination. And they're leaving this place that we all call home, feeling like anything but.
Sometimes it's hard to get up and say, oh gosh, I gotta go out today and I hope nobody looks at me the wrong way, you know? And there are days like that. I recently had an incident at a butcher shop. I was lining up outside wearing a mask, and an older Caucasian lady kind of gave me an up and down and walked away from me. I'm the only Asian person that was in line, and then she came back and was very friendly to the two middle-aged Caucasian gentlemen between us. It was subtle enough, but when you have faced racism before in the past, you know what it feels like, and that definitely felt like a moment of it. It felt like a dagger in my heart at the same time.
Something's going on in our world that is going to make us more vulnerable if we're not careful. And it can happen even in a city like Vancouver.
Joshua Crow was out walking his dog Tutu just about a block away from home, in a neighborhood best known for its beaches, shopping, and yoga studios, when a couple passed him and made a comment.
It was to the effect of like, I have a better chance of catching the coronavirus walking past this guy. I felt singled out. I felt judged, right? Somehow I'm a danger to the public. It really puts you on edge. It kind of makes you feel like I can't let my guard down, or something could happen. And I'm not particularly scared for myself. I'm a taller Asian guy. But my wife is, you know, a shorter female Asian woman. Like, some of the worst violence that's happened in this province has happened to women.
And then as we get closer, they start like, look at these people with their fucking masks. What's wrong with society? You honk, go back to your country. Honk, you fucking chink, go back to your own fucking country.
The victim of another suspected racist attack in Metro Vancouver says she will not back down.
Victim was just someone who was on the bus trying to stand up, be a good Samaritan for two women who were being berated with racist comments.
That's when the suspect is accused of kicking the Good Samaritan and pulling her hair so hard, part of it was torn from her scalp.
Every incident has a ripple effect. Even if you're not the victim this time, it can leave an impression.
The thought of being like enclosed in a like bus where it's like very close and you can't really get out is pretty frightening. So I've been avoiding it if I can.
I feel like I'm on my toes a lot. Like I walk my dog in the evenings. He is tethered to me, so if I ever have to use both my hands, then I'm ready.
There's like the additional burden, and that if something were to happen to me, if other people around me who are bystanders would come and help me out, or if I'd be left alone.
I'm still a little scared, to be honest. Even driving up here, I could feel my heart was racing and I was looking around me.
Lily and her elderly mother were driving home when a white female pedestrian lashed out.
She got really angry. You could see that suddenly she had clenched her fists and her face was red, and she turned and she started walking towards us. And I was absolutely shocked because we hadn't done anything to her. We hadn't said anything. We didn't honk a horn, nothing. We were waiting to turn right onto Lincoln there. And luckily, her friend saw what was happening and literally pulled her away. The only thing that that woman had seen was our Asian faces. That was the only thing. So that was my only conclusion, was that she didn't like the look of my face or my mother's. This is the only home I've ever known. I wouldn't have thought that there would have been anything that would make me feel like I don't belong here, but that did. And that was a small encounter.
Gladys Lamb's elderly mother loved this park. She had a forestry background and would walk these paths every day.
And she also wanted to contribute, and the only way she knew how to contribute at 80 some odd years old was to pick up garbage as she walked, because she just wanted to make things beautiful.
This bench was a gift from her grandchildren. When she died from cancer in February, it became her memorial site. But in May, someone defaced it.
And I walked up and saw, basically it says F China on the bench in, bright black letters.
What was it like for you to see that in that moment?
I was just speechless. I was hurt. I was disappointed. I was hurt because I think my mom just wanted to make this park beautiful, her picking up garbage, and someone made her bench ugly.
The phrase that I've learned is a perpetual foreigner. That it doesn't actually matter what your real story is. You could have lived here for 4 generations. But nobody knows that because they just looked at what you look like, and if you don't look Canadian, they'll assume you're new to the country or that you are a recent immigrant and treat you accordingly, and that's not fair because Canadians aren't defined by the color of their skin.
The impact of a small encounter isn't always so small. It shakes up your sense of being and belonging, and the hurt can run deep. The fear is more of those microaggressions will escalate to clear assault.
I'm Trixie Ling. I'm a Taiwanese Canadian, and I was walking home on the Great Northern Way when I saw a young white man approach me. He said some racist and sexist comments, and I ignored him, and that's when he spat on my face. At that moment, when it landed on my face and I could feel it, it wasn't even my first thought around COVID, obviously, that's disgusting, but it was more just like the power, like the lack of power it feels when someone spit on your face, the disrespect. I really thought, I'm like, this guy spat on the wrong Asian person. Like, I am going to speak up. I am going to keep him accountable. I feel like silence can be used as a weapon to create more fear, more shame, more apathy. So what we have to counter that is to use our voice and use our story and have the courage to speak out, to listen to other people, to hold a space with other people experiencing racism, and to be able to act together.
So how are you feeling about it?
I feel saddened, hurt, heartbroken, but on the other side, I also feel loved by the support I receive.
I just want to go back to feeling like we're all one community, and Vancouver's always been good that way.
I think we're going to come out of this together because we're neighbors, because we're kind of stuck in this, and also because it gives us an opportunity to get to know each other's experiences more and to share our experiences, good and bad.
What gives me cause for hope is the fact that I hear lots of people say, this isn't right. This should not be happening. This is 2020. We shouldn't be thinking this of people.
I'll carry that concern and worry with me for a longer period, but I hope that one day he'll be gone.